I always tried to do one donut, tried to drive through the curves, and tried to break 160. I think all this started, you know, being a good God-fearing Southern boy. I want to go fast. So I had a little Mazda pickup in high school, and I got off work one night from a restaurant, and my buddy had been there trying to score some free food, and jokingly I said, hey, I'll race you to the Huddle House. Well, we come off a long straightaway up a hill. He was so close to me I couldn't see his headlights, only the glow off of my tailgate. And that's my son sitting over there. Don't you be listening to this. So as soon as we crested the hill, I was going 91 miles an hour, and the blue lights came on. And they had us pulled over in about, I don't know, a quarter mile seemed like. And we got in a little bit of trouble for that, but I enjoyed going a little faster than I should. Well, many years later, I got the opportunity to have a fairly quick car. I've got a 95 ZR-1, and I was in the Air Force for 21 years, and my last hitch was 7 years I spent in Germany. So I'm probably one of the few guys who's had one of those cars that actually got to drive it. One day in particular was a November day. It was cold, and the car drives much better in the cold, probably about 50 degrees. Sunday morning, nobody's out on the road. I went down the little loop that I did, and I did a few curves, and I got out on the Autobahn, and I always tried to do one donut, tried to drive through the curves, and tried to break 160. I had done all that and was getting off the Autobahn, and right as I got off, a newer 911 Porsche went by. So I got right in behind him. We got back on the Autobahn, and we took off and got at it. And we went through some curves, big bank curves on the Autobahn, and we hit a straightaway on A62 near Ramstein, Kaiserslautern. And when I looked down at the speedo, we were going 172 miles an hour. I was about 2 or 3 car lengths behind him, and he was not pulling away from me. We were just on it. Now, what I knew that I don't think he knew, I don't think he was from that area, the Autobahn ended in about a half mile. So I just got off of it, got on the brakes, and flipped around and said, that was nice, I'm gonna go home. Well, I spun around, went back up the hill. Now, he had to have gone to the next exit. I was doing about 100 in 6th gear. The car's not doing anything. I'm just bebopping down the road, not driving per se. He passes me. I'm like, how did that guy get turned around so fast? So I yanked it down in 4th and took off after him. And there we hit it again. And we got up to, I think we hit about 160, but not any faster than that. We get off at one of the exits, and I pull up next to him, and he rolls his window down. He's got on a nice leather jacket, really German-looking little spec sunglasses, and he pulls them off like that and says, your car is running very good. So we started talking, and he said he was a little bit aggravated about it, like this redneck had run him down in this Corvette. He said, I just spent so much money on this car, and I just had it chipped, and I just did this and that. Well, it's cute. It's a cool car. So that was pretty interesting. A friend of mine, a family friend, came over to visit and said, I want to do Germany up. I want to eat schnitzel. I want to see the Alps. I want to drink a big German beer and go fast on the Autobahn. I said, great, we can do all that. It's actually my mother's friend. She's about 60 years old. It was the last Sunday morning there. I said, Brenda, are you ready to go fast? She's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. So we get in the car, and we do my little loop, and we go through some curves and do some burnouts, and everything's fine. And we hit that same straightaway where me and that Porsche broke 170, and we hit 150. So here's a 60-year-old woman going 150 miles an hour down the Autobahn, and somebody comes on and gets in front of us, and I had to stand on the brakes. And I mean stand on them. And she, and then the eases off, we didn't die. And I said, you ready to go back to the house? Yeah, oh yeah, it's good, yeah. And that was it. I took her back to the house. And I think later that afternoon she went to the airport, but she's like, well, I appreciate you showing me around Germany.
As a luxury and exotic brand dealer, you know the challenge of putting the right price tag on perfection. Ritz Garage places you directly in touch with our qualified network of new and used dealers with no auction fees. Ritz Garage. Premium cars, premium dealers without premium fees.